can just throw that stuff in there. All right, we're ready? Mm-hmm. Hello, everybody. It's Friday night. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got your troubles, well, I got them too. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we can see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. Maybe some of your friends may be a little bit stronger than I am, big and handsome too, but none of them would ever love you the way I do. It's just me and you. And as the years have gone, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny, 'cause you got a friend in me. Oh yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Well, welcome to the Rum Runner right here in Seabright, New Jersey. The new Rum Runner. I don't even know how long we've been opened here since Sandy. Took us 3.5 years to get back. And what, is this our third year or fourth year? 2016? Who knows? At any rate, you probably can't tell because of the glare, but we have the beautiful Shrewsbury River behind us here. And so tonight's show is going to be, for the most part, 50s Friday. When I first started playing out in public, it was in the 1960s anyway, so most of my repertoire was 50s. There are some people who would say it still is, but I want to say hello to Jince and Darcy McCurdy, who are watching from Florida. And we had a request for a special anniversary song tonight. Was it an anniversary or a wedding song, Beth?
It was their wedding song.
It was their wedding song? Hannah and I are working on it, but we're not ready for it. Let me put it this way. She's fine. I'm not ready for it yet. But I have a little bit of makeup work to do here. On the last show, last Sunday, it suddenly occurred to me that I'd read in the paper that our good friend Christian Rex, who unfortunately passed a year ago, his dad had finally passed away in his 90s. And Christian's favorite music was the Beach Boys. And I spontaneously decided to bust into In My Room, forgetting how the chord changes went. And it's interesting tonight, though, because this song was one of the earliest one by the Beach Boys, and it was in the early 60s, and it really had a 50s feel to it anyway, with some of the sort of typical chords. So for Christian Rex, his dad, and their family, I'm going to make up for last week with a Beach Boys song. There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets too, in my room, in my room, in my room. In this world I lock out all my worries. that Christian is in musical heaven somewhere, and he heard those mistakes last week, so it took me a couple of days to fix things. But we miss Christian, and that video, if you did not hear us talking about it, if you go online and look up Christian Rex with a K in the Christian, and doing a Gillette commercial with his father, it is one of the most moving videos you'll ever see. So, something else I didn't, what's going on here? Our technical advisor, Beth McLoone, and her associate, Hannah McLoone, are trying to figure this out. Yes?
It was sitting on the piano, so it was shaking.
Oh, it was shaking?
Yeah, and now when the sun comes out, you kind of go into silhouette. So
Okay.
I'm trying to,
We don't.
well, it's all about the music.
So this is a 50s song, but not what you would expect. This was a very moving piece in our house by Phil Foster, who was on Laverne and Shirley as the dad. But when the Dodgers moved out of Brooklyn, I want to do like a baseball song every time we play. Our son Jack and daughter Molly are particularly the ones who miss baseball the most. But this was a heartbreaking song because the rumor started flying that the Dodgers were going to leave Brooklyn, which was inconceivable. But then it became very conceivable. And Phil Foster wrote and performed this. Say, did you hear the news about what's happening in Brooklyn? We really got the blues about what's happening in Brooklyn. It ain't official yet. We hope official it don't get. But beware, my friends, and let me warn ya. They're thinking of taking the bumps to California. Let's keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. A house is not a home without some love. Don't let them leave our premises or they will be their nemesis, because Brooklyn fits the Dodgers like a glove. See, it's brilliant songwriting. Mr. Walter O'Malley, we've always called you Pally. We stuck with you through thick and thin. But if you take away our Dodgers, guys like Campy, Nuke, and Hodges, number 14, we ain't your friends no more the way we've been. Let's keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. A house is not a home without some love. Don't let them leave our premises, cause we will be their nemesis, cause Brooklyn fits the Dodgers like a glove. Now this next line here is one of the great lines in the history of lyrics. We offer our bridges, you can take them widges. We got a couple we could spare, but we'd all feel so glum without the Duke and Gilliam. We'd need one left to jump off in despair. Cause really, what would Brooklyn be like without the Dodgers? Well, Brooklyn would be like a pair of socks that's holy without Jackson and Somoli, like a bed without a pillow, without Erskine and Farilla, like a ship without a harbor, without Podgers and the barber, like the sun without its shine, without Zimmer and Levine, like the birds without a bee, without Austin and Pee-wee. And here I am a poet, and I didn't even know it, so sad that the Dodgers in Brooklyn. A house is not a home without some love. Don't take them from our premises, as we will be their nemesis, as Brooklyn fits the Dodgers like a glove. So send the Phils to Trenton, the Giants to St. Paul, but keep the bumps in Brooklyn, the greatest ball of all. Let's keep the Dodgers in New York. There it is. Let's keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. That didn't quite work out. My brother Brian emotionally moved to California with the Dodgers. I became a Met fan. I had to wait 5 years, but there they were. So my dad was born in Brooklyn, my mother in the Bronx. They had me in Staten Island. We moved to the Oranges, down the shore, and the rest is science fiction. I mean history. So my mom had a really good friend, the Pisanos in Brooklyn, and she worked with her. And she had a brother named Frankie who taught me how to play this song, and I thought this was the coolest thing. For many years, actually, I thought that the band that did it, and you'll recognize it in a moment, was from Brooklyn, but they were actually from Philadelphia. So here it is. Danny and the Juniors. Oh baby, bye. Oh baby, bye. baby, bye. At the hop, where you can rock it, you can roll it, do the stop and even rolling at the hop. When the record starts spinning, you chill up, so when you're chicken at the hop. Do the dance sensation that's sweeping the nation at the hop. Oh, let's go. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. Let's go to the hop. Come on. Let's go to the hop. Where you can swing it, you can move it, you can really start to move it at the hop. Where the jockey is the smoothest and the music is the coolest at the hop. All the cats and chicks gonna get their kicks at the hop. Let's go. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. Let's go to the hop. Come on. Let's go to the hop. Let's go. You can roll it through the slump and you can stroll it at the hop. When the record starts spinning, you tulips or when you're chicken at the hop. Do the dance sensation that's sweeping the nation at the hop. Where you can swing it, you can groove it, you can really start to move it at the hop. Where the DJ is the smoothest and the music is the coolest at the hop. All the cats and chicks gonna get their kicks at the hop. Oh, let's go. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. Let's go to the hop. Come on. Let's go to the hop. Let's go. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. At the hop. I still don't know what a calypso is. It's a dance, I guess. It's calypso and cha-cha is what I'm guessing. Because you can calypso when you chicken at the hop. And Hannah, the forever 19-year-old Hannah is looking at me like, oh, that was special music playing back then. So, you know, we used to go to this, I've talked about before, this place, Rockaway Point, Breezy Point, where my parents met on the other side of Sheepshead Bay. And I can remember the first time I heard, actually, it was in Breezy Point, and I think you'd have to say it was really the first rock and roll song. And of course it was, you know, made famous in a TV series. Geez, you may recognize it. But Bill Haley and the Comets, and Bill Haley and the Comets were actually kind of a corny, semi-big band kind of, you know, rockabilly act, but they hit it with this. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 1, time's begun. Then you know we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock all around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3, and 4, the band stops swinging, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. We're gonna rock all around the clock tonight. I didn't feel like going around the entire clock, but of course that always started Happy Days, and it came out of American Graffiti, which is actually one of the great underrated movies of all time. And now my assistant comes over. Look at nice printing here. At any rate, so I try to put, so Dion and the Belmonts, to me, were, each time we have a quarrel, so afraid that we will have to part. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? One day I feel so happy, next day I feel so sad. I'll have to learn to take the good with the bad. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? I cried a tear for nobody but you. I'll be a lonely one if you should say we're through. Well, if you wanna make me cry, that won't be so hard to do. And if you should say goodbye, I'll still go on loving you. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? Hey, Lord, not be a teenager in love. Hey, Lord, why must I be a teenager in love, in love? Oh, all this stuff fell on the floor. Well, one of the good things about doing 50 songs is if you don't like the particular song, it's over with in about 2.5 minutes anyway, so you're not going to be, it's not exactly American Pie, if you know what I'm saying. So, but once that stuff started, and I thought that Dion and the Belmonts were it, because I liked their harmonies, and they had that doo-wop feel. And but you know, once Elvis burst on the scene, that was it. That was just it for everybody, I think. He was doing a lot of. By the way, I am coming to you from the Rum Runner, and this is, in fact, a Rum Runner made by Mark Cherfasani. But you know, Elvis was borrowing a lot of music from other places. What's going on? I'm getting a lot of stuff here. Anyway, so here's a little Elvis. Treat me like a fool, treat me mean and cruel, but love me. Take my foolish heart, tear it apart, but love me. Won't you love me? Well, if you ever go, darling, I will own. So lonely, I'd be sad and blue, crying over you. So please, please love me. I would beg and steal, just to feel, just to feel your heart beating close to mine. Well, honey, I'd be low, darling, I'd be home, so lonely. I'd be sad and blue, crying over you. So please, please love me. Won't you love me? You know I can't be found sitting all alone. If you can't come around, at least please telephone. But don't make her to a heart that's true. Maybe if I made you mad, something I might have said, please don't you forget my past. The future looks bright ahead, but don't make her to a heart that's true. Why should we be apart? I really love you, baby girl, so my heart. Now don't start to hate me, love me, but don't make me feel this way. Come on, let me hear that you love me. You know what I want you to say. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm gonna. Let's walk right to a preacher and let us say, I do, I believe, I know that you have me, and I know that I have you. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Let's walk right to that preacher. Let us say, I do, I believe, I know that you have me, I know that I'll have you. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Why should we be apart? I really love you, baby, caress my heart. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. And of course, the total breakout hit from back then was Elvis's first movie, which they renamed Love Me Tender so that he could sing this song in it. And as his life would play out, he got killed in the end of the movie, but love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true, take me to your heart, for it's then that I belong, and will never part. Love me tender, love me dear, tell me you are mine. I'll be yours through all the years, till the end of time. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. This was my father's favorite one. He always asked me this. Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Does your memory stray to that bright summer's day when I kissed you and called you sweetheart? Do the chairs in your parlor seem empty and bare? Do you gaze at your doorstep and picture me there? Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight? You know, I wonder if you're lonesome tonight. You know, someone said that all the world's a stage and each of us play his part. I was cast as your lover with you as my sweetheart. And I thought, had no reason to doubt me. Now the stage is bare and there's emptiness there. And going on living without you. Or something like that. Is your heart filled with pain? Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight? Oh, baby, let me be your loving teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck and lead me anywhere. Oh, well, let me be a teddy bear. Baby, let me be around you every night. Run your fingers through my hair and cuddle me real tight. Oh, well, let me be, oh, let me be a teddy bear. I don't want to be a tiger, 'cause tigers play too rough. I don't want to be a lion, 'cause lions ain't the kind you love enough. Just wanna be your teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck and lead me anywhere. Oh, let me be a teddy bear. Oh, let me be your teddy bear. I just wanna be your teddy bear. I'm gonna do one more Elvis song here. These are all the 50s Elvis songs. We'll get to the 60s one another time. But this is Jim Celestino's favorite Elvis song. Jim and Marilee are somewhere, where are they? North Carolina, South Carolina, they're in the Carolinas somewhere. And they're moving there, which seems really not fair. Don't. That's what you say each time that I hold you this way. When the night gets cold and I wanna hold you, baby, don't say no. Don't leave my embrace, for here in my arms is your place. Your night is cold and I wanna hold you, baby, don't say no. If you think that this is just a game I play, if you think that I don't mean every word I say, don't. That's what you say. I'm your love, and I will stay. This you can believe, I will never leave you. Heaven knows I won't. Baby, don't say no. So there were a lot of pretenders, people who wanted to sound like Elvis, and One of them was Sonny James. This song, I don't know why I like this. I had this 45. I was in a bridge generation that started out with 78 RPMs that soon went to 33 1/3 and then to 45s and onward or downward from there depending on how you look at it. But I've never done this actually, but I think I'll remember it. Gonna do it and sing. They say for every boy and girl there's just one love in this old world. I found mine. The heavenly touch of your embrace tells me no one could take your place ever in my heart. Young love, first love, they share this devotion. Young love, first love, they share this deep emotion. The heavenly touch of your embrace tells me no one could take your place ever in my heart. Young love, first love, they share this deep emotion. So that was a song by Sonny James, but I believe there were at least 3 other groups doing the same song at the same time, but his drove. So now my production team has given me some notes to tell you about here. One is that information on our website will be up this weekend. What's that, McLoons.com? What website? McLoons.com. Only one C in that name, MCLOONES. Next Tuesday is Cinco de Mayo, which is also our nephew's birthday. At 5:30, our dear Jen will be mixing cocktails from CJ's. I hope she has a key. I don't know. I hope she does. Anyway, that's Tuesday at 5:30. Wednesday at 4 o'clock is another cooking class with Chef Dolan. What did he do? He did pork chops this week. Did he say what he's going to do next week? Pastas. All right, pastas next Wednesday, 4 o'clock with Chef Dolan. Nothing like an Irishman telling you how to make pasta, I always say. And it says here, I'm live. I'm live. I'm going to be here from... I may sleep here. I'm going to be here on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays from 6 to 7. And you can find us now on, if you go on Facebook, McLoon's Restaurants, or we're now on YouTube. And our good friend Tony Lasardo is going to work with me to enhance our photographic skills, our cinematography skills, and our audio skills. So we'll sound and look, I won't look any better, but the background will look better. And finally, I want to tell you, Mother's Day brunch and dinner for the family from this very building, the Rum Runner. See, you thought there weren't commercials on this show, but there are. Anyway, our ordering starts Monday. So we're going to be doing takeout meals from Robinson Ale House starting next week. And what day? Wednesday? There's a lot going on Wednesday. Cinco de Mayo. No, that's Tuesday is Cinco de Mayo. At any rate, you'll be able to get Mother's Day meals right from this place, the Rum Runner. They're going to be great, and we appreciate your supporting us in any way possible. It's been tough for a lot of the people that work for us, to say the least. All right, so I love being in the Boy Scouts. I really did. And I connect that with this song because I was at our Boy Scout troop leader's house with, the Explorer Scouts were there. Those were the older guys who had 1 million merit badges. And I just wanted to be able to hang out with them. And this song came on the radio while we were there, and I'd never heard it before. And by the Diamonds. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. little darling, but you, a little darling, but you, well, but you, a Koopa, my lover. I was a runner, la 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 la, just to try to love you, a Koopa, is my lover, la 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 la, that you try just for you. Won't you wanna, my darling, I need you, la 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 la, to call my own and never do wrong, to put in mine your little hand, la 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 la. I know too soon that all will be grand. Please take my hand, change that key. I did a bump, chihuahua, I was wrong, but just to try to love you, a Koopa, is my lover, la 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 la, just to try to be true. My daughter Hannah was giving me some very dubious faces during that one. I don't know. So there were two Tonight songs, and this goes out to number 24. He knows who he is. He knows who he is. He and Maureen. So the first Tonight song is by the Mellow Kings. And now the whole thing about rock and roll, and particularly the ballads, where for a musician you'd say that the chords were 1, 6, 4, 5. 1, 6, 4, 5. The numbers on the keyboard, so it didn't matter what key you were in. So this one was by the Mellow Kings. Tonight, while I'm holding you so near. Tonight, what I'd give if I could hear the three little words that would thrill the heart of me. Just whisper, I love you, and will eternally. Tonight, more than any time before. This heart of mine seems to need you so much more. The touch of your lips, the thrill of your embrace, keep saying that no one would ever take your place. While looking up above, I wished upon a star and prayed for a blessing from above. Well, if my wish would come true, until our life is through, I'll have you to have, to hold you, to love. Well, tonight, I'd never reach an end. I'll miss you so, till I'm in your arms again. With all of my heart, I will swear with all my might, I love you forever as I love you tonight. Love you tonight. That is a true makeout song, but I'm just going to move on from that. So the other Tonight was by the Velvets, and Kenny Margolin, who is number 24. He really liked it when we would do this song. I didn't know he was a big fan of this. And this was, as far as we all know, the first time the words doo-wop were ever used. And you would think these characters were from New York, but they were, I don't know, they were from the Midwest, I think Wisconsin or whatever. But see if I can do this one. Tonight, tonight, do-wop, 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 do-wop. Could be the night to hear you say, do-wop, do-wop, darling, I do. Well, tonight could be the night to put that ring around your finger. Oh, my darling, hold me tight, 'cause tonight just could be the night. Yeah, well, tonight, do-wop, 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 could be the night, do-wop, 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 to fall in love, do-wop, 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 someone like you. Well, tonight, do-wop, 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 could be the night, do-wop, to pledge my love, do-wop, do-wop, now and forever. Oh, my darling, hold me tight, 'cause tonight just could be the night. Yeah, well, tonight, do-wop, 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 could be the night, do-wop, 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 to hear you say, do-wop, do-wop, darling, I do. And tonight, do-wop, do-wop, could be the night to put that ring, do-wop, do-wop, around your finger. Oh, my darling, hold me tight, 'cause tonight could be the night. The Velvets. Anyone who likes what I'm doing tonight should never criticize a younger person about their choices of music ever again. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, I had a request for this. I have to see if it's the right key. Drinking a Rum Runner doesn't help me select the key. It makes me careless. Come along, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. Come along, baby, whole lot of shaking going on. I ain't thinking, whole lot of shaking going on. I said, come along, baby, we got chicken in the barn. Whose barn? My barn, your barn. Come along, baby, really got the bull by the horn. I ain't thinking, whole lot of shaking going on. Easy now, I said, shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, baby, shake. I ain't sick, baby, shake. I ain't thinking, got a whole lot of shaking going on. Easy now, I said, now come on, baby. Come on over here, stand around there. Shake it around just a little bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, come along, baby. Whole lot of shaking going on. One more time, I said, shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, baby, shake. I said, shake, baby, shake. Come on, I said, shake, baby, shake. I think got a whole lot of shaking going on. Oh my goodness. So I was a real Buddy Holly fan back then, and I didn't really know any backstory and how young he was when the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost went down in the airplane, and the whole story behind it, the people that got on the plane, the people that didn't get on the plane. But he and the Big Bopper and Richie Valens all passed that night, and that inspired Don McLean all those years later. But So here's a couple of songs by Buddy Holly. This one you may not know, but the sun is out, the sky is blue. There's not a cloud to spoil the view, but it's raining, raining in my heart. The weatherman says clear today. He doesn't know you've gone away, and it's raining, raining in my heart. Oh, misery, misery. What's gonna become of me? I tell my blues they mustn't show, but soon the tears are bound to flow, and it's raining, raining in my heart. Yeah, it's raining, raining in my heart. It's raining, raining in my heart. Oh, misery, misery. What's gonna become of me? I tell my blues they mustn't show, but soon the tears are bound to flow, and it's raining, raining in my heart, raining in my heart, raining in my heart. Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day it's getting faster. All my friends say go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's getting faster. All my friends say go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's getting faster. All my friends say go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Surely come my way. Surely come my way. Surely come my way. So when I was running track in college, actually more specifically cross country, my good friends, some of whom are out there listening tonight, we had a trivia test, which was ridiculous. But we had a 3-week training camp where we lived in a cabin or cabins out in the woods in northern Massachusetts. And all you did every day, we'd get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go out and run. You know, took a couple hours, and then you come back, have lunch, and then in the afternoon we'd go out again. And that was pretty much life. So I brought my guitar up there my second year, and so we started singing songs and stuff. And we came up with a trivia test. And on that trivia test, the question was, what's McLoone's favorite oldie? And of course, oldies back then meant 50s, even though it was only the 60s, for crying out loud. It seemed like a long time ago. And, you know, this was my favorite oldie. And this is the kind of moment where I miss my band and the Shirls. Our guardian star lost all its glow the day that I lost you. It lost all its glitter the day you said no, and the silver turned to blue. This is when the Shirleys would come in. Like him I am doubtful that your love is true. But if you decide to call on me, ask for Mr. Blue. I'm Mr. Blue. Wow, wow. When you say you love me, Mr. Blue, then prove it by going out on the slide, proving our love isn't true. Call me Mr. Blue. I'm Mr. Blue. Wow, wow. When you say you're sorry, me, Mr. Blue, then turn around, heading for the lights of town, proving our love isn't true. Call me Mr. Blue. I stay at home at night, right by the phone at night, but you won't call and I won't hurt my pride. Call me Mr. I won't tell you. When you paint the town, me, Mr. Blue, a bright red to turn it upside down. I'm painting it too, but I'm painting it blue. Stay at home at night, right by the phone at night, but you won't call and I won't hurt my pride. Call me Mr. I won't tell you. When you paint the town, a bright red to turn it upside down. I'm painting it too, but I'm painting it blue. Call me Mr. Blue. Call me Mr. Blue. Call me Mr. Uh-oh. Well, I hope you're all enjoying this. I realize with this song list that I have that I'm probably about a third of the way through. There are a lot of really memorable 50s songs, so maybe Friday Night 50s will be around for a while. Maybe we'll do it next Friday, too. I thought I'd conclude with this one. This is actually, it was interesting, WCBS-FM was an oldies station back in the day, and now is again. Actually, it sort of stayed that way, but they've obviously changed the decades. Now they play, I'm not sure what they consider to be oldies now. I think songs from the 1990s, but our good friend Scott Shannon in the morning. But at any rate, back in the late 60s, early 70s, they ran a contest to see what the top song, the top oldie was. And there was a lot of discussion about it every year. And this was really before the Beatles penetrated, because eventually Day in the Life took over, and Day in the Life became the number one song, the number one rock and roll song of all time. But if you remember, before I was talking about the chord changes that were very popular in ballads particularly. 1, 6, 4, and 5. So, at any rate, this song, for every year when they did the fan voting, this one ended up being considered the number one oldie of all time. So here we go. Shoo-doo and shoo-be-doo. Oh, wait a second. Before I launch into this is time for dancing. It's Friday night. You've had happy hour. It's Oldies Friday. For the couples out there. Shoo-doo and shoo-be-doo. Ba-ba. 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 In the still of the night, I held you tight, 'cause I love you so. Promise I'll never let you go. In the still of the night, in the still of the night, I remember that night in May. Remember the stars were bright above, and I hope, and I'll pray to keep your precious love. So before the light, hold me again with all of your might. In the still of the night, in the still of the night, I remember that night in May. Remember the stars were bright above me, and I hope, and I pray to keep your precious love. So before the night, hold me again with all of your might. In the still of the night, in the still of the night, in the still of the night. Be-doo, be-doo, be-doo. In the still of the night, in the still of the night. Now don't forget Mother's Day brunch right here from the Rum Runner order. It starts Monday. Look at these notes I got here. I'm going to be playing here Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Wednesday is our cooking class with Chef Dolan doing pastas. Who knows what. Tuesday is Cinco de Mayo, and at 5:30, Jen will be mixing cocktails from CJ's. And you can get all the information from McLoons.com. I want to thank my production staff, Beth McLoone, Hannah McLoone, Jack and Connor and Hannah staying as far away from this as they possibly can. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. You got a friend in me. Maybe some of your friends may be a little bit longer than I am, but big and handsome too. But none of them would ever love you the way I do. It's just me and you. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny, 'cause you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me, oh yeah. You got a friend in me. So stay safe out there. And we'll see you Sunday at 6 o'clock. So long.